So welcome back to JB Reviews. I have a 2024 Chevy Silverado 3500 and a 2023. Now if you don't know, they've done some revisions to the Duramax. And today I feel like this is a great time to figure out if the MPG has increased over the 2023. But then again, the Duramax for 2024 has more horsepower and torque, which means it could affect fuel economy. But we're gonna find out in this video. Special shout out to Jerry Seiner Chevrolet here in Salt Lake City. These guys actually have a couple of these trucks available right now and more on the way. Now, if you're new to the channel, I have a few new toys for my testing. So I have this guy. This is a sound level meter. And so I can kind of get an idea of the measurement of the sound inside of here by decibels. And I'll do it for both trucks. I also have this little guy. This is a dragy. If you don't know what this does measure 0 to 60. Actually measures 0 to 30. You can do 60 to 0 for braking, quarter mile, 1/8 mile, all that stuff. So we're gonna be using this for the most part in this test. And stay tuned, I got a towing video coming at some point, so we'll be using it for some towing. But let's go ahead and get down the road. We're gonna drive the 2024 first because these trucks are popular and people are coming in to look at them. So I wanna get this video done on this one first and then we'll drive the 23. For both trucks, I'm gonna reset the trip 1 at the same spot. So yes, let's go ahead and get down the road. So as I said in the last video I did with the drive, I did not do MPG, but I did do a drive. This truck is pretty torquey down low. So I am kind of happy I get to drive the 2023 right after this because I'll be able to know for sure, you know, if there is a noticeable difference. But I can assure you, from the small drive I did last time to now, there's a difference. And even the exhaust brake, I'm surprised how much of a difference it made. Now, of course, when you have a trailer and you have something pushing you, it does react a little bit better. So that's something to look forward to in the future when I get a trailer hooked up to one of these. I just did the 0 to 60, but I'm gonna wait to show you guys the footage. I did it in a different area that's a little bit more safer. But man, this truck, it feels faster. I can't wait to see the comparison on the dragy. Like, I can't wait to see it. But this one does have a center console. The last truck I did a review on did not. And this one has, you know, sunroof. This one has the split tailgate, which is the multi pro, I think, for Chevy. Multi-flex for GMC. I might have mixed it up. I can never remember, but it's one or the other. And really, there's really no difference in this truck in terms of the ride. This truck is not stiff. Like, I know a lot of people who probably would drive half tons would say this is stiff. I don't think it is. I think it rides almost as good as a Ram 2500 with the air suspension. Almost. Not quite, but almost. And I was really hoping to see a difference with the mirrors, but nevertheless, they did not give that to us for 2024. Not necessarily a new mirror, but just a revision. And I just have to go over in a video what I don't really like about it. But this truck is loaded to the gills. Like, it has a lot of different features. Go back and watch the last video I did on it so you can get an idea of some of the features. These are the numbers for the 2024. So this truck basically has a curb weight of 8,274 pounds. Payload is 3,826 pounds. The GVWR is pretty much the same at 12.1, and then the axles 7,250 and 5,600. So here's the fuel economy right now. We were waiting for a while to get on the interstate, and that's with the 0 to 60, as I said. So I'll show that to you guys in a little bit. But overall, we're at 9.8, not good at all, but I'm sure it'll make up for it. Now I'm going 72 miles an hour. You guys can see we're just a little bit over 1,500 RPMs. If I get up to about 75, I'll hold it there for you guys. Oh, there it is. So we're at, yeah, we're about the same actually. It didn't really change much. And this one does have the actual radar cruise control, so it will actually stop the truck, which is nice for this model year. In the past, it just alerted you, and I like that it can actually slow the truck down. Having the radar cruise control is so much better because out here in Utah, sometimes after I've had a busy day, I like to just kind of relax and just set the cruise and go and not have to worry about braking and stuff like that. So this is perfect. And This truck is definitely quieter too, and I'm really hoping, actually speaking of quiet, let's go ahead and measure. I'm going only 59 miles an hour. About 65, 64. It's always a little bit quieter back there. It's like 62, 63, and then on the window here, 70 by the window, 71. So that's not too bad. But yeah, we'll definitely check out the 2023 and see how it compares. We're almost at the midpoint, guys. Unfortunately, traffic is just terrible right now. And this is obviously going to affect fuel economy. And we've only driven 7.6 miles and we're at 13.2. So that's not terrible for what we've been through so far. Again, we idled for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I wish this kept the time. I know there is a timer. I should start using that. But yeah, we were sitting in traffic for a little bit and then we did acceleration and now we're here. So I'll have to do this test again during the week when it's not so busy. Speaking of which, look at that. Got some Ram trucks up there. Trying to flex on my Chevy now. You can't do that, Ram. Stop it. So we're at the midpoint here. Not looking too good, but it's not over yet. I think I can easily get another 3 or 4 miles per gallon going the opposite direction, because I highly doubt that there's any traffic going the opposite direction. Now that I had a second chance to drive this truck with the Michelins, having the smaller wheel is definitely the way to go. Like driving my GMC, I can tell that it's a little bit harsher. And if you were to lower the air pressure on these tires, it'd get even better. So the air pressure is at 61 up front, 78, 81 respectively. I mean, honestly, that's about what the manufacturer calls for, I believe. But even lowering the back down to maybe I would even say 73 would probably really soften the ride. But overall, really love the interior. Really love this truck. It's a nice setup. And these seats do feel a little bit softer, a little bit. And now these have the perforated leather, so I can turn my ventilated seats on too. I forgot about that. That is an option on an LTZ. I like that they revised the fuel economy page here. It's a lot cleaner and easier to read, and they give you an actual number like they did the last time. And I'll show you guys the difference between these two. Now I'm going to show you guys here in a second the exhaust brake when we're going downhill, so stay tuned for that. But here's where we are. Last time I'll show you guys until we get back. I did improve it a little bit, just a little bit. 16, that's not bad, guys. That's a lot of idling, a lot of stop and go traffic, and acceleration, all in 16 miles. All right, so here it is. Downshifting. It wants to work so bad. There it is. It is working. It's just so weak. And one thing I would like to see, and I know why they don't show it to you, but I wish they would give you a diesel exhaust brake gauge, because that would really help to show us how it's actually working. But Ford nor GM does that. That's the only thing I would like to see. By the way, here's the transmission temperature. Just made it back to the dealership. I'm gonna show you guys where the stopping point is. There's basically a 2024 Chevy right there. And this is basically where we're gonna stop, right here. So there you go. We are at 16.4, 17.7 miles driven, and we average about 39 miles an hour too. Alrighty, so we're driving the 23 now. I didn't mention this, but it's only 64 degrees outside too. So that's actually pretty good for MPG. I feel like anything above 50 degrees is good, and then anything below 80 is good. So that's like the benchmark in my opinion. If it gets too hot, sometimes I feel like you run the AC more, and I feel like the truck works harder. But when it's too cold, I feel like the engine's constantly trying to stay at operating temperature too. So if you have two-edged sword there, basically. But we're gonna go ahead and set up to do the 0 to 60. But again, you won't see it until the end. I apologize. I know you guys probably want to see it now, but I want to put them close together so you can have a good idea of how they both perform. What's funny about this interior is, even though it is very bland, the new interior stays true to how Chevy designs their interiors. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's still very clean. Like, this is very clean in a basic way. The 2024 is, it's just a little bit more luxurious. Like, it looks more well thought out. This seems like Chevy was in a rush to put an interior together. I even like the way that they designed their charging station for the phone, like the wireless one here. I like it better on the 2024. But ultimately, for some people, it's still going to come down the price. I think that if I can get like 10 grand off on a truck, if I was looking at a 2024 at sticker versus getting this for 10,000 off, I think I would probably pick this. Like, I do YouTube for a living, so that's the only reason why I'm buying a 2024. But if I needed a truck and I can get 10 grand off, 100% I'd buy this. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's bad at all. And as I was saying to you guys earlier, they did revise the instant MPG. Like, it just looks so much better on the 2024, personally. And I hope you guys can see the RPMs there. I'm going about 73. Let me get up to about 75. Yeah, I think the RPMs are the same. Like, the rear ends are exactly the same on these trucks, 342s. The only difference between them is just more horsepower, torque, combustion is different, and the turbo. Now, as far as this truck goes, this is a higher trim level, so you're gonna have a little bit more weight. So 8,403 pounds is the curb weight, and then 3,697 pounds for the payload. 12.1 GVWR, and you guys can see the gross combined weight ratings are actually a little bit better on the 2024s. Same axles as the 24 as well. Traffic did clear up a little bit. We're about to be to the midpoint here in a second, but at 5.2 miles driven, 11.7 MPG. So it's about the same as the 2024. I'm really interested to see though how it's going to end up, because that to me will be the deciding factor. Because going back the opposite direction, it's smooth sailing. And like I said, traffic's already cleared up here, so it's going to look a little bit better on this end probably because of that. So we'll see how everything shakes out. But overall, I don't really feel a difference in the interior in terms of like the ride quality. And let's see what the sound level is. 64, 65. Hopefully you guys saw that. Beside the door, it's actually a little bit quieter. 65, 66. About the same out back. Oh boy, I'm done driving for the day. There's an accident on that side. Man, these people in Utah cannot drive. Sheesh. I thought Maryland was bad. You guys are terrible out here. I gotta be careful. But yeah, here we are, 13.5. So we're a little bit better, but because we're kind of stop and going again, it's gonna affect a little bit. But this traffic's further up. My exit is basically right here. I was probably about a quarter mile back when I start slowing down, so it has moved a little bit, but it looks like the traffic's on that side, so I might still get affected a little bit. But like I said, I'll show you guys where we are at the midpoint. It's looking to be about the same as the 24 though. I think it's literally the exact same. So we're pretty much off the interstate, going the opposite direction. There might be a little bit of a slowdown, as I said, so yeah. And the light's green for us too. So we had a slight diversion. They closed the interstate going north, which I'm not surprised. I guess the accident was pretty bad, so hopefully everybody's okay. But this should still be about the same. It's saying that I'm 11 miles away, so that should put us a little bit over the versus the 2024. But honestly, we're still going at a consistent speed and pace here, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But all in all, guys, I'll check back in when we get back to the dealership And let me show you one last thing. I'm gonna show you guys the temperatures, and then I'll show you guys the 0 to 60 for both trucks. Here's the transmission right there. And I wish I could find a nice decline to show you guys this exhaust brake. I don't hear anything happening. So in my opinion, it just doesn't seem like anything's really going on. But if I find a grade that we're going down here, maybe, actually, you know what? No, it's not it either. I don't think I'm gonna see anything here, but if I do, I will show it to you guys. All right, we're going down a little bit now. I just don't hear anything from the engine. That's why I think we're just kind of just coasting down to speed. Now obviously if I manually shift it, it's actually not that strong either there. But these are new trucks. Normally once these trucks get a little bit of miles on them, they start to break in and they do work a little bit better, but I didn't notice a difference there, guys. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Alrighty, so we're at 16 MPGs. We drove a little bit more because, like I said, traffic was terrible and they must have shut down part of the highway, so I had to go around and back over basically. But 16 at 22.1 miles driven, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Now I don't know if you guys know this, we are above sea level, well above sea level here in Utah. So the 0 to 60s are going to be a little bit slower. Now I'm not sure, does that affect naturally aspirated only, or both forced induction and naturally aspirated? I'm not actually sure about that. I have to look that up. But nevertheless, this truck was faster than 0 to 60. It actually got better fuel economy too. So the updates that they've done are going to probably definitely help secure this truck to be a little bit more reliable and a little bit more efficient. But I hope you guys liked the video. As I said earlier, special shout out to Seiner for allowing me to do this video. Be sure to check out their inventory, and I'll see you guys soon.